Hey, I'm Melissa and I write books. I also make YouTube videos, which I think you know. I got a comment a couple weeks ago now asking how I edit my videos because I mentioned being able to edit a YouTube video in about 30 minutes to an hour when they're normal length. Let me just, like the videos I've been posting recently that are like 30 minutes to an hour definitely take a little bit longer, but videos that are 10 to 20 minutes typically will take me about half hour to edit, vlogs specifically. So we're gonna just edit a video together and I'm gonna kind of give you some tips. So a little bit of backstory about me is that I went to school for like media production and video was kind of my concentration. And then I worked at a video tech startup for a few years where we specialized in efficiency and bulk content. I have been taught how to edit videos very quickly. And I think the main thing to kind of think about if you're looking to like increase your speed but not decrease your quality, I mean, you might think that my quality is lower. I hope you don't because you're still watching. I have a motto and it is only care once. So only care about the quality of the video one time. Edit most of the video without caring about if it's good or not. It's similar to writing. I feel like there's been a lot of discourse recently, like you can write bad drafts, like you can write bad scenes, you can write bad paragraphs. It just has to be good one time at the end, right? And so I have a similar approach with editing, and I'll kind of just take you through how I edit from beginning to end. So I'm just gonna start recording here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import my footage. I really hope you can see all of this. Yep. So one thing I do, especially when I'm making super regular content, is I don't actually transfer my footage from my SD card. I just edit off the SD card. I do not recommend this. Please transfer your footage so that you have it stored on a hard drive or somewhere else. But I know that I edit my videos in 1 or 2 sittings, and I know that I have 2 SD cards. So one I'm recording with right now, one that's in the computer. So I don't spend the time to transfer the footage, which is not advice. So then once I get the new footage in, I select it in this program. I have my screen split into 3 tabs. I'm using Premiere Pro, by the way. The top right is the program. So that's where you'll be able to see like the video itself displayed essentially. On the left, right, I have every other panel. I bring in my sound, I bring in my effects, I bring in my graphics. I keep everything in that panel because I know where to find it. And then in the bottom is just the timeline. So in this top section where the media is, I'm selecting the top. However you do this is fine. This is just how I do it. Top to bottom, I drag it in, grabbing the top one first, because then it will bring it in order. So then I don't have to spend time ordering things. So now I'm just gonna kind of get into editing. So it's Tuesday as I'm filming this, and I started filming my weekly vlog on Sunday. And so this is about the amount of content that would be in like a daily vlog or in like a 2-day vlog. So it doesn't have an ending. It's not a complete video, but I think it will give you the idea. So the first round that I do is just a rough cut. So I'm essentially getting rid of anything I don't want to use, but I'm not caring if it's clean, if it's smooth, if it sounds good. I'm just getting rid of everything that I don't want to be there, and I'm removing things. So I actually ended up filming for this video like a cleaning montage first because I was just overwhelmed and needed to clean. I also save very regularly. So with my montages, I just immediately, especially a cleaning one like this where I know there's no sound I'm gonna keep, I just press Alt, click on the sound, delete it, right click on the clip, speed duration, I always start with 2000. That brings it down to a speed I like. Then I get into a talking section here. So with these, I'm gonna use some keyboard shortcuts here. So the letter C will bring up a razor tool like this. So this is how you can kind of split your tracks. The letter V on your keyboard will bring back your mouse. And so I'm just gonna cut it up and not care. Hello. That was too much energy. Let's take it down a notch. Hi. So I'm getting rid of like white noise, things I don't want, just deleting. I'm cutting right up to the talking so that I don't have to cut it later. I'm Melissa, I write books. I'm Melissa, I write books. I'm Alyssa. I write books. Did you get that?
It's Sunday. Welcome to another week of writing. This one I think probably will only go through Thursday because I have Girls Weekend this week, which is going to be fun.
So I'm cutting out anything that I know immediately, like, okay, I don't want to keep that. I don't care. It's okay if it's messy. So things I'm not doing in the first round is anything with graphics, anything with sound, anything with music. I'm cutting out the footage that I'm not gonna use. Also, if you press the letter L on your computer, this is for Premiere, it'll go forward, fast forward. If you press it again, it'll go fast forward. If you go J, it'll go backwards. So then I'm like, okay, this is a montage, but I'm dictating, so sometimes I like to keep sections that in just for fun. Sometimes with montages where I'm cooking, I'll cut it up a little bit and not do the full speed, but it really just depends. Sometimes we'll cut to actions like a flip. So here is like, I know I have reactions during this, so I'm gonna cut to like, if I gasp or something. Yeah, here. Okay, so now that I've gone through all the footage, which the total of that was like around 3 hours of footage, I go to sequence and go to close gap. I've made a keyboard shortcut for it so that so I press the number 9 and it closes all the gaps. So you don't need to like move the pieces, the pieces of the video closer to each other. It closes the gap. So now there are no gaps in anything. And it brought my time to like 17 minutes. I already know I'm probably gonna cut that down because my montages are kind of long. So this is the round where we care, okay? But first, I'm just gonna move this to be by the other montage clips because I know it's gonna go in that first montage. I just ended up filming it at a weird time. So the first thing I do is I can see where the montages are. So the montages are here because I got rid of the sound. There's montages here, there's montages here. I know where they are. So I'm actually gonna put the music in first. I have all my music already in the project. That's just where it stays. I'm actually gonna import a new song that I've been meaning to add into the mix because are you sick of all my songs yet? Maybe you should be. I'm gonna put that in there as some montage music. So I already know with my montages, I bring the sound down to like pretty low and I'll adjust that later. But I'm putting it in, I'm not even listening to it, you guys. And because it's like long, I'm gonna actually go ahead and have this be throughout this little session here. I'm actually gonna speed up and I'm gonna speed these up just because I want them to go with the music a little more. It's like not super necessary. Okay, let's see. I'm actually gonna do this so that the music lasts till the end of this little montage section. So here's another one this one I think I will probably, since it's just literally me sitting in this chair, I'm just gonna put in some jazz and have this be like a much shorter one. So I'm actually gonna bring up the speed to like 8,000, which is aggressive. But because of the jazz, then I'm gonna let the jazz spill into, I don't like this jazz song though. I mean, I do. Let's do Not That Serious is a jazz song that I like to use. And at this point, I know my music well enough where I kind of know like what I'm looking for. What is this song? No, that's a sad song. Don't do that. Okay. So I'll adjust the sound on that later, but And then there's this last little montage, which will actually not be the last montage of this. But I know the music, and so then I pick one that I'm like, that kind of fits the vibes. I put it in before I even listen to it or watch it. I'm putting everything in its place, and then I will make everything fit later. I'm gonna put, this one's kind of like a jazz, or it's like a little like lo-fi beats. I'm gonna put that under that talking section, and then I'm gonna do another, I either put jazz or I put like lo-fi, like cool hip songs in the background of my talking parts, which you've probably noticed and you're probably sick of, but I'm just gonna add that in to have something in the background. So now that I have some music just generally in place, now I'm gonna go through, and if I feel like, oh, I wanna add a graphic, I want it to sound good, I wanna clean it up, this is the part where I care. And it takes not very much time. Ready? Let's do it. See, the first thing is stop. See, right at the beginning, I think it should have started earlier. She has too much energy, it's fine. I'm like, oh, I don't think that's as funny anymore. But I do think that last little part is funny, so I'm gonna put that in. So now I'm hearing how it sounds with the background music. That was an awkward pause, so I'm cutting that out. Like, this is when I'm caring, right? Do you see me caring? I also only really fix things if I think they're super noticeable, which maybe you can tell if you like really care. So this one I'm kind of like, oh, that's kind of like a funny little aside. So I'll go to effects control and I'll scale out, you know, just like, but I don't overthink it. If my instinct is like, yeah, that'd be funny, I do it. And sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. Some videos have a lot of those, some have none. And montages I do typically watch to get a vibe of like, is this a good amount of time? Sometimes I just go aggressively long with the montages though. Okay, so this section I'm noticing I want some graphics because I don't explain what I'm doing very well, so I want to put in something here. Like, I don't explain what I'm talking about, and so I want to explain it here. Really the way I do it fast is just by not thinking too much about it. It's already been like 40 minutes, but I've also been talking to you guys. Also, if there's a moment where I'm like, that would be a good thumbnail, sometimes I'll just like do a little screen grab. So sometimes with something like this where I'm like doing the same thing, I'll do one of these. Like, it's at about 13 minutes, which is probably around the amount of minutes that like a NaNoWriMo daily vlog would be. Started out 2 hours and 44 minutes of footage down to 13 minutes. I grab my YouTube outro screen. I press O to get the in and out keyframe. Sometimes I will go back and just watch the beginning to make sure it's like hooky and clean, because I really like the first 10 seconds for sure to be really like good and nice. Because like, just for anybody who might not have ever seen me before, but you kind of get what you're getting at a certain point, you know? Yeah, so I'm happy with that. And honestly, I do not watch it again. If there's a section where I'm like, I feel like I want to go back to that, I'll do that, but most of the time, no. And then I export it. And while it is exporting, that is when I make the Canva thumbnail, which I will not do right now, but I will like comb through. Sometimes I have a lot, sometimes I'll do like thumbnail shoots where I'll like just do a bunch of different faces. Like let's do some right now actually, just while I'm thinking about it. There we go. Like literally it's that fast. So that was 10 seconds. So that's what I'll do. I think it took a little bit longer just because I'm kind of explaining what I'm doing. And there were some of these montages where like I'm talking throughout it, so I need to cut into those. That just takes a little bit longer, but that is how I do it. I only went through this video twice. Like I don't want to take the joy of video editing from you. So if you really love like color grading and adding in really nice graphics and like really spending time picking out music that matches exactly the vibe and like cutting to the music, sometimes I will do that if I'm feeling a certain sort of way. Like if I'm feeling really creative or like I have a lot of time, or if I just am like feeling the itch, I'll like do some more advanced editing, but like this is a basic how I do it. I also keep my camera settings on auto all the time so it brings enough light in. If there's a clip that's like really dark, I will adjust the light in the dark. I'm at a luxury where because I'm a video editor in my day job, I know like if there's a problem, I can fix it pretty quick because that's what I do all day. Yeah, sometimes I'll do more, but most of the time that's what it is. And those are the kind of videos that you get. And so you could say that I don't put enough care into it, but I think for me, it's really about the content and the video editing. My main goal with this type of editing is for it to like enhance what's already there. I think of it kind of like makeup. Sometimes you do makeup because you want to like really like change the way you look, you know, like it's like the whole point of it is to do like a makeup look, which is not bad, but I'm not out here trying to do like a full glam face of makeup. I'm just doing some like a couple of like covering up some pimples with my concealer, putting on a little bit of lip gloss and doing a little bit of mascara so you don't notice that I'm putting on makeup. That's kind of how I want the edit to feel. That like, it's like you were there. I'm enhancing things that are already, I think, funny to make them a little bit funnier. I'm adding in music so that you don't get bored and sit in silence like I do, you know? I'm adding in a couple graphics for clarity so that it makes sense, but I'm not doing anything big and crazy. And I really admire creators who do, but for me, that's not what my videos are about. My videos are about like what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and how I'm presenting my writing and like connecting with you guys. So yeah, that is how I edit my videos. Are there any things that you learned? Any questions that you have for me that maybe I glossed over? Honestly, video editing, you know how they say like 10,000 hours makes you like an expert at something? I think I have probably edited for 10,000 hours in my life. But yeah, like it is so natural to me, it is so easy. And so that's the real reason it doesn't take very long. And even then, like taking 2 hours and 50 minutes of footage down to 15 minutes still took about an hour. So, you know, give and take, it still will take time, but that is how I'm able to do it just a little bit faster. I know this is not my usual content, but I know there's a lot of author tubers who watch me, and so I just thought we'd share this moment together. So anyway, comment down below a camera emoji, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!